Good morning, everybody. This is Cheryl. You know me on Facebook as Vegan Love Life, a name they're trying to make me take down, but it's there for a reason. I've been asked recently by numerous people to give them some inside information or advice on going vegan. It can be sticky getting started because you don't know, there's so much information out here, you really don't know where to start or what to buy or what's best for your body. So last night, after being asked by a couple of people, I decided I'm gonna make a video and I'm gonna help jumpstart those that are interested into veganism. And some people are not gonna go vegan, some people are gonna be vegetarian. And one of the things I wanna do right now is tell you the difference between vegan and vegetarian. Some people think vegan is short for vegetarian, but it's not. Vegetarians eat cheese and they drink milk. Vegans don't use animal at all. We don't eat meat and we don't do animal products, byproducts, such as milk and cheese and whatnot. So moving on, I want to give you a short testimony about my own personal experience with veganism. 9 years ago, I started having health issues. I didn't even know I had health issues until my ankles swole up so bad and they would not go down. My ankles were probably the size of your fist or my fist. And I couldn't get them to go down. I would drink water. I tried to eat what I thought was right. My body swole up to 192 pounds. I had never been that big in all my life. And one day I went to the doctor, and the last time my doctor saw me, I was like 130 pounds soaking wet. And for my body type, the way I'm built, 130 pounds is really, really small. So when he sees me a few years later down the road and I'm 190 pounds, he's like, what is happening to you? And I couldn't explain it. I really didn't eat that much. I wasn't a person that ate all day and stayed at McDonald's or Burger King all day. But I was a sugar addict. I did love my sugar. I like morning, noon, and night. Cookies, cakes. I was not Little Debbie, but Big Deborah. I loved my sugar. But that alone wasn't doing it. There were multiple factors. So my doctor took me in the back in the examining room and he told me to turn around, and all of this area, this is your thyroid area. All of this was swollen, like almost to the point of, those of you that know what a goiter is, you see people with, women in particular with swollen throat areas up in here. The thyroid gland is a butterfly gland here, and it spreads out in here. All of this was so swollen. And he told me to swallow, and after he told me to swallow, he said, you have thyroid disease. And I had no idea what thyroid disease was until he explained it. I had hypothyroidism. Hypothyroidism is a disease that's incurable, and you gain weight and you can't lose it. You just constantly put on weight, and no matter how much you diet and exercise, you cannot lose the weight because your thyroid, which regulates your metabolism, that's one of its functions, and we'll get into that sometime in a later video. It's responsible for your metabolism, and if it's not working, like mine wasn't working, then you just, whatever you eat, it just packs, your body stores it as fat, and you can't lose the weight no matter what you do. So he told me to go, at that time I was 42. He told me to go to an endocrinologist to be measured for the medication. And the medication that I would get, I would have to take for the rest of my life. Once you get on it, there is no coming off. And I told my daughters, I have two daughters, 34 and 35. One just had a birthday. And they're my absolute best friends. And they were with me the day that I decided I am not going on medication that I have to be on the rest of my life. That is just not going to happen to me. So I went to a place, by the way, I'm located in Jacksonville, Florida. And there's a store, it's very popular here. It's called Florida Health Foods. So it's been around for ages. Those of you that live here, the oldest store is located on Lem Turner Boulevard. I went over there and there was one located on Dunn Avenue at that time. And I went to the one on Dunn Avenue and I told the lady working in there that day what my problem was. I was a little upset and I did not want to take medication for the rest of my life. I'm not gonna put that ball and chain on myself because I know I'm not gonna stick to it. I'm not gonna do it. So she said, I got just the thing for you. It just came in. It was medication formulated for people with hypothyroidism. I don't have it with me today. I'm not at Florida Health Foods. I'm actually at Whole Foods on San Jose Boulevard in Jacksonville. She put me on that and told me how to take it. And the directions are on the bottle, of course, but I took a little bit extra and changed the way I ate. I stopped eating. Pork went first. That was the first meat to go, was pork. And then I stopped eating beef, like steaks and things like that. I started eating more. I stayed on beef, but I started eating ground beef and, trying to cut back on what I ate. And I started to see a change in my weight. I started to see where the supplement was working. And my thyroid glands the swelling started to go down. My weight started to go down. I started feeling more energized. I started feeling better. Well, coming on up, that was at the age of 42. Coming on up to the age of 44, another drastic change took place in my life spiritually. And when that changed, and we'll get into that in another video, but after the spiritual change, the way I ate was the first thing that changed. I went vegetarian. And what that means is I stopped eating meat, period. No meat, no ground meat, no. I ate, well, I'm not gonna say I went initially vegetarian. Initially I was pescatarian because I still loved fish. I'm a Floridian/Texan. So I loved my fish and shrimp and fried oysters and all that kind of stuff like that. And so I stopped eating meats, no ground meat, no turkey, no nothing from animal. So I stayed on fish, and periodically on Fridays I would have fish and shrimp with grits or something like that. And then one day, no more fish, no more seafood, period. And I realized, wow, I'm vegan. I didn't even want it anymore. Now, there's a wealth of information. I'm just giving you a little background on myself. That was 9 years ago. So I've been 9 years vegan. I've done a lot of reading, a lot of research. I need some type of degree because I've spent an abundance of time reading and studying and praying and researching everything I do, everything I put, even down to what I bathe in. And it's just been a wonderful life. I have no health problems whatsoever, none. No health problems, no high blood pressure, diabetes, nothing. Most days I'm very energetic. I will be, in a couple of months, I'll be 53 years old. And it's been the last decade of my life has been the best ever. Best ever. And I'm here at Whole Foods, and I've done something for you guys that I was really excited to do. I got up early this morning, and I said, I'm going to Whole Foods, and I'm going to see if they will work with me. My family and I, we actually shop here. This is one of 4, for those of you that live in Jacksonville, this is one of 4 stores where you can get pretty much everything you need for a vegan lifestyle. I came in this morning and I wanted to talk to management, somebody, they know my face here, and they allowed me to use their beautiful kitchen area. I didn't even realize this place was back here. It's gorgeous back here. They allowed me to get all the products that I want to get to show you how to get started in veganism and how to stay with it, how to stick with it. Now, I put a post on Facebook last night that talked about diabetes and high blood pressure, and if you suffer from it, to get in touch with me. And I still mean that. However, I don't want to be in trouble with the law for practicing medicine without a license. So I'm going to say this. I don't promise you a cure. That's my disclaimer. I'm not promising you a cure to any disease. What I am promising is that you will feel better, and I know from personal experience and from seeing that you will get better, but I don't promise a cure. Okay? So don't get off, if you're diabetic and you're on medication, you are urged not to get off your medication. Do not get off your medication, and the reason, we'll get into that another video, but there's a reason why don't just get off your medication without your doctor's approval. If you're on medication for high blood pressure, do not get off your medication without your doctor's approval. I don't want somebody running to their doctor saying, well, this lady on this video and blah, blah, blah. We're not going to do that, okay? So stay on your medication, but follow this diet. Follow this plan. And something else I forgot to talk about was my heart problem. Now, I didn't have a heart problem per se, but when I went to the doctor at the age of 42, when I was diagnosed with thyroid disease, I was also having problems with my heart. I was having palpitations, and my heart was always like pounding, just like boom, 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 boom. Now, I'm a professional driver, and at that time I was a intrastate driver, which means I worked for Greyhound. I was all over the country, anywhere at any given time, going to bed in a different state every night, and I was loaded with caffeine. That's how I kept myself going, was with caffeine, coffee, Coca-Cola, sugary snacks and stuff to keep myself awake, because sugar, it gives you a rush. But the problem with a sugar rush is you crash and burn after about 30 minutes. And so you got to load up with either sugar or caffeine again to get yourself crunk and get going again. So I told my doctor about it that same day with the thyroid problem. I told my doctor about it. He put me on an EKG because he wanted to see if I had indeed a heart problem. And my heart rate was 92 beats a minute resting. First he had me sitting down, 92 beats a minute. Then he had me to lie down, 92 beats a minute. And my doctor was through with me that day. He was just too done. What are you doing? What kind of life are you living? And I told him what my profession was at the time and who I was working for. And he just shook his head and was like, you don't have heart disease yet, but you are on your way. You have got to change. You've got to change the way you're doing things and the way you're treating your body. That being said, those of you that are interested in getting started and want to know where to start, I've laid out some stuff back here behind me that I'm going to introduce you to. Those of you in Jacksonville, you can come to Whole Foods and get these products. You can go to Freshfield Farms. Freshfield Farms is a wonderful place to get natural and organically grown fruits and vegetables. They specialize in fruits and vegetables. You can go to Earth Fare. Earth Fare is on Atlantic Boulevard. Freshfield Farms is on University Boulevard. Of course, Whole Foods is on San Jose. And one of my favorite, very first natural foods market that I started shopping at when I went vegan was Native Sun. Native Sun has 2 locations, one on San Jose Boulevard and one on Bay Meadows Road, right at the 295 on-ramp. It's right behind the Publix shopping center. Well, anyway, I'm going to turn the camera around and I'm going to show you these products behind me for those of you. And I picked a lot of these products for a specific reason. I tried to stay focused on when I ate meat, it was all about the seasoning. It was all about the taste. Nobody's going to eat raw meat. If you take the seasoning off meat and just eat it or try to eat it raw, I'm pretty sure you'll vomit. So the biggest thing about meat is the savoriness, the seasonings, all the trimmings that come with it and stuff like that. So I tried to stay focused on helping. If you want to stop eating meat or cut back on meat or whatever it is you're trying to do right now, these products will help you. So I'm going to turn the camera around and I'm going to show you these products, and I'm going to try to explain the products to you as best I can and how to use them. Okay.